picked it up a couple years ago, and going to tell you a little bit about the story on how I got the car by building a business and selling a business. And we're going to take it for a little drive today, do a little filming, and then talk to you about how to help turn your dreams into a reality, whether it's a car, house, a boat, feeding the hungry, mission trips. We're just going to talk a little bit about how I was able to do it and how we can help you do it. So just a little bit about the car. It's a 2021 F8 Spider. I think it came out in 2021. I think the first year was 2020. And let's see, it's Rosa Corsa red, which is racing red in Italian. So when I was 19 years old, working at my dad's body and paint shop, he had a picture of the Magnum PI, a poster of the red with tan Magnum PI Ferrari. I think that was like mid 80s, 1985, maybe a 308 Ferrari, and with tan interior. And I think working at my dad's body shop, and he was into cars, he kind of got me into cars. I had just, when I turned 19, I set this goal that I want to own a brand new Ferrari, and I want to pay cash for it, buy it brand new. And I was setting that goal to do that by the time I was 29 years old. So I was 19, I had 10 years to do it. And what happened is I hit 29 years old and I had a great job. I was making $300,000 a year as a vice president of sales, running a big sales organization for an ad agency with 40 salespeople and 4 sales managers. But I started doing the math. I'm making $300,000 a year, but I'm paying 40% in taxes and tithing my 10% to the church. So I'm taking home 50%. And I thought, wow, I made $300,000, which is pretty good money for a 29-year-old kid, but I only took home $150. And this car back then was, I don't know, $200,000. Maybe it was $150 back then. So all of a sudden it became very apparent to me that this is a big goal. Like I've got a wife and 4 kids at 29 years old and a house payment, and it wasn't going to be so easy to get this car to write a check for it, and that was part of the dream. It had to be a cash purchase. So at 29 years old, I remember just kind of putting it off and saying, well, I hope I can have that car by the time I'm 39 years old. So I put it off 10 years. And at 35 years old, I became a multimillionaire. I had started a mortgage company in the year 2000. In 2005, I was doing 100 loans a month, $12 million a year in revenue, making around $3 million. So I had the money to buy the car, but instead of paying cash for the car, I decided to buy a couple houses. I had a $2 million home that our family lived in, and then I bought a $1.8 million waterfront house in Canyon Lake. So instead of buying the car, I decided to buy real estate, and kind of had to put this dream off one more time. So I said, hey, I gotta own this car before I'm 50. So from 35 when I could afford the car, 39, 40 years old is when the mortgage business took a big dive and lost my business, kind of lost everything. In the year like '07, it got real bad. So I went from being a millionaire to being broke. And then reset the goal, I gotta have this car before I'm 50. So started another business, had that business for 10 years, an ad agency, about 60 employees. We did $20 million in revenue in 2020, and I made around $4 million in net profit. So I was able to buy my Montana house, cash, $1.1 million, and then pay cash for this car. The car MSRP'd for $350,000, brand new. I bought it from Ferrari of South Bay in Torrance, which is part of the Mattioli automotive group, Giacomo Mattioli. He owns Ferrari Beverly Hills, South Bay, and I think Calabasas. So they had the car come in, and somebody had ordered it and then backed out of it. A jewelry dealer in LA, I heard, was the one who ordered the car. But I wanted Rosa Corsa red, and I wanted tan interior, so it was exactly what I wanted. But because I wasn't on the Ferrari list, I had to pay over sticker. Way over sticker, but what they allowed me to do was sponsor the Ferrari race team. So $350,000 car. I paid $85,000 over sticker price, but sponsored the Ferrari race team. So that was a write-off, and I was able to send that wire out and pick up the car. So kind of 30-year dream, man, wanting this car and life getting in the way, getting married, having kids, and buying houses, and trying to be responsible. A couple things about the car: it's 710 horsepower, so it's got a 3.9 liter V8, kind of a small V8, but twin turbo. Those turbos are monsters. So 0 to 60 is 2.9 seconds. Top speed 210 miles an hour. I've had it up to 149. Southern California, it's hard to find roads where I'm safe driving. I am going to take it up to Vandenberg Air Force Base and get to drive on the airstrip, and I'm hoping I can break 200 miles an hour, see if I can get 201 on the speedometer. So anyways, super mid-engine car. I was able to go to Ferrari race school out at Thermal at the track and spend 3 days in a Tributo, which the F8 Tributo is just the hardtop version of this car, and learn how to drive it at pretty high speeds. I think we were hitting 170 in the straightaways at Thermal, and then obviously the cornering and wet down the track, slide the car sideways, turn off traction control. It was 3 days of hardcore driving, so I was really glad I spent the money on Ferrari race school just to feel a little more comfortable with the car driving it. We got the red calipers, the Ferrari shields, we got the carbon fiber steering wheel. Just to look into the car, most of the like I said, I didn't build the car, someone else did, and they put a decent amount of options on it. You could add another $100,000 just in carbon fiber to this car, but that steering wheel, carbon fiber with the LED lights, that's a $15,000 option, so that's the big one.
Yeah, of course.